Yo, 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 what's up? Hello, everybody. It is that time once again. You already know what it is. MCXP Radio here with the musicologist, and we on BGSC Network. Y'all ready? Let's get to
Swagger pimp, yeah. Can't now another nigga like me. Yeah. Okay, it goes 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, rockin'. It's time for hip hop. On they reach watch, no sir, not for show. No bars made up of fairy tales. I'm trying for the tragedy, I know it well. So put your hands up in the air just for the winners. A peace sign, the pimps, the prostitutes, the sinners. We all deserve a second chance, but we products of illusion and victims of our own circumstance. Apply the pressure, I bet you can. Live the life that you love, shout out to Rand. Love the life that you live, shout out again. It ain't a tough pill to swallow once you comprehend.
What up, what up, what up, everybody, man? Welcome, man. This is your boy, the musicologist, MCXP Radio. Chilling here with the BGSC Network. Chilling, y'all already know how we do it, man. Good to be here. Glad that you guys can join. Man, make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys follow. All of that good stuff. Let me go ahead and put this banner up for you guys so y'all already know that you are kicking it in the Monday Man Cave with me, your host, the musicologist. Follow me, A Reed TV on the Twitter, on the Instagram. Follow the show, MCXP_radio on the Twitter as well, man. You can find me. You can find it on the YouTubes, all of that stuff. But shout out to everybody, man, that's been subscribing and liking, commenting on the videos. But appreciate you guys, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're really trying to do some big things here. Wanted to try something a little brand new today. I decided that I'm gonna start a new segment on this show, which is just basically called the musicologist mindset, where I'm gonna give you about 5, maybe 10 minutes. I don't know, but I'm gonna give you just my opinion of something that may have happened over the week. So, without further ado, let's start this. All right, guys. Something that's been happening over the weekend, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this up real quick. I've heard a lot of people talk about DC Young Fly and his eulogy, so to speak, that he had for his wife or his significant other. First and foremost, I don't think that anybody is willing to deal with death. Um, there's no right or wrong way for a person to deal with death. And let's just get that understood. Everybody deals with it in their own kind of ways. Some people have to make light of the situation in order for them to not be hurt. Um, others have to, seek help, seek refuge, seek somebody out there that can comfort them. But everybody should have their own kind of way of how they grieve. And I believe that when you have somebody that is close to you that passes away, we should allow them to grieve in the best way possible. Video came out, um, and I want to say about a 6 minute clip of DC Young Fly's eulogy that he gave to his significant other who just recently passed not too long ago over complications during surgery. So may her and her family rest in peace. I want to say definitely may the family of DC Young Fly and his kids or whatnot, man. I hope that that they're getting through it the best way possible. But this is my thing. I've seen a lot of people kind of get mad at DC Young Fly's eulogy. If you really listen to it, I mean, God was really, kind of letting out, and he was a little funny at things, talking about that, that she had gave him 3 kids. He wanted to give her 7 more, and but he was saying that he was good. He was telling people, you got to find God in this process and whatnot. But then I see a lot of people, especially on Twitter. That's why I can't and I like Twitter. I do like the app, but some people just don't deserve to have freaking accounts. Just because you have a Twitter account doesn't mean that necessarily that your opinions are 100%. That's the problem with social media, because everybody feels like that their opinion is validated, that what they say is legit and whatnot. And a lot of the stuff that people say is actually foolishness. You know, I heard a lot of people really talking down on his eulogy, saying that they didn't feel right in their soul, or it just wasn't, you know, excuse me, it wasn't what it's supposed to be. Like, um, excuse me, like he didn't have no respect, anything like that. Look, I'm gonna come out and say plain and simple. Who the hell do you feel like you are to tell somebody else how they're supposed to grieve when it comes to a situation like that? Seriously, who are you? What gives you the right to sit there and dictate that somebody needs to grieve a certain kind of way and they need to say certain little things? You don't know what happened in that family. You don't know how he kept everything afloat in that family. So for somebody to come out there and just basically tell or come out with these uh, comments saying that DC Young Fly is just out of line. No, nigga, you out of line, bro. Square biz, you out of line. Because if that was your family member or whatever, you would want to grieve in the best way that you felt possible. And you wouldn't want nobody else on the other side or somebody on the outside trying to dictate how you should grieve. Let that man grieve. Let that man grieve the way that he needs to. He lost the love of his life, but he still got the kids going. So the man is going to make it through. So all prayers and praises out to him and his family. But, fuck y'all for those comments, man. Fuck y'all really, really, really for those comments. And then, what's her name? Azalea Banks decides that she wanted to come out and say these kind of words, man. I'm not gonna post out what she said, but you guys can look that stuff up. Fuck Azalea Banks. I'm gonna say it on my show. Fuck her for what she said. You got a real black heart, sweetie. Real black cold ass heart. And if that's how you feel, then that is what it is. But the magnitude of how some people are nowadays. It's not shocking. It's not shocking. It's more appalling. But fuck you for that. And I'm gonna be real. Fuck you for that. And everybody that's kind of giving decent young fly negative comments about the eulogy, fuck y'all for that. Let that man grieve. Let that man grieve. You wouldn't want nobody else to do that to you and your family members when y'all pass away. So why would y'all do it to him? It doesn't matter if he's a celebrity, whatever the case may be. You know. Um, so seriously, y'all full of shit on that one, man. And I had to call that out. I had to call that out. Um, like I said, this is kind of a new segment, musicologist mindset. I will be kind of doing this probably like that at the beginning of each um, what you call at the beginning of each show that I have, man. But I really had to get that stuff off my chest. It's something that I'm gonna see over the weekend, and I just want to give y'all some knowledge, that you can run with for your week. But seriously, man, that did not sit right in my bones. Just reading all the different comments. I'm serious. Some of you people on Twitter don't even deserve fucking accounts. Y'all don't. Y'all don't deserve accounts because y'all opinions are very, very invalid. It's not based on anything, um, nothing logical. A lot of the things that I see on Twitter are not logical at all. Um, and you see it constantly on the basis. All you got to do is just scroll down your timeline. But I did want to say that, man, to him and his family, to his loved ones, all love and support. I know it's a difficult time because everybody has lost somebody in their life at some point in time, but y'all did nothing wrong. And for these people to come out and say what they say, it just shows you what kind of world that we in. It really, really does. When every single person has access to sit there and give their opinions very freely in this world of social media, this is the kind of shit that you're gonna get. So again, I'm gonna say it for Azalea Banks. Fuck you for what you said because you dirty and you wrong. For all those people that put him down for his eulogy and what he was trying to say to his girl, man, and trying to say goodbye, fuck you and you wrong. I'm gonna say that. That's on my show on MCXP Radio. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. And you can take it however you want. Please put your comments, everything, and talk to me. If you got an opinion, talk to me. I can care less, but I'm gonna stand on my hill, bro. I'm gonna stand on my hill. Square biz, square biz, square biz. So with that being said, man, let's get into the show. Y'all ready? Past NBA first time champions. Let's talk about it. All right, man. Let's get into the show. Let's talk about some past NBA champions. Okay, now I'm kind of dating back all the way to about I said roughly about 20 years ago. This is what 2023, so roughly about 20 years ago when it was about 2003. Okay, we had a couple of teams that actually kind of crossed over that line, which is good. Um, with tonight actually being the verge of the Denver Nuggets, who may possibly end up getting their first championship in franchise history. I kind of want to go back and kind of celebrate some of these teams that necessarily did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I got quite a bit of notes. You know what I'm saying? Some things that we can go on, but let's get in, man, and let's talk about this. Y'all did. Um, well, before 2023, their first championship was actually in 1999. But let's talk about the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio Spurs. Um, I can't say that I'm an absolute fan of the San Antonio Spurs, but you have to give respect to this team, man. Yeah, honestly, truly, truly, seriously, you got to give respect to this squad. Let me give y'all help y'all out, man. Get y'all the picture. Get y'all a little picture right there, man. San Antonio Spurs. If you guys can sit there and look at it, man, that's the class. That's the team that had, of course, the Twin Towers, uh, Tim Duncan, David Robinson. You got Bruce Bowen. Yeah, Tony Parker. I believe Ginobili was a part of that squad as well. For what they was able to do, for what they were able to do, um, one hell of a team. One hell of a team. And not only that, not only was it their first championship was in 1999, but like I said, we was debating that dating back to already to 2003. I was saying about 20 years back, but they did win the 2003 championship against the New Jersey Nets, um, which I believe that ended up being their second. It came again in 2005. They won again against the Detroit Pistons. Came back again in 2007, which is the Cleveland Cavaliers. And they didn't make it back then until 2014 when they ended up playing the Heat. Look, that's about five championships within that span. Within about a 10-year span, give or take 10, 12, 15-year span, man, they won five championships. I don't give a damn what you say, man. Whether you like them or not, man, it's still this dynasty to me. This dynasty. Um, five championships in the organization in a small amount of time means that you guys are really doing what the hell you need to do. That organization knew how to build. They knew how to uh, keep things relevant to what was changing within the NBA, and they kept core pieces in place and in balance, especially with the coach Greg Popovich, who is a Hall of Fame coach. Um, but they kept things in place, man, to make sure that that team could sustain success. And I don't think a lot of people understand like how hard it is as a professional team to sustain success. It's one thing to sit there and finally make it, okay? Because every team wants to go out there and they want to make it past that hump. They really, really do. Every team, when they start out every season, every team's aspect is to win the championship. Now you just got to be realistic, if you really got a chance or not. But every team's goal is to win the championship of that season. So for when you have a team that can constantly put the things together, um, put things in place, put things in order to make sure that they sustain that success, for it to keep going and going and going and going, you have to tip your hats not only to the owner but to the GMs, to the coaching staff, because they're doing everything they need to do behind the scenes to keep that train rolling. Of course, man, you always want your teams to win. You always, always constantly want your teams to win. But it's only a certain amount of people that can do that, man. Certain amount of people, So I give a good shout out to them, man. Definitely. Like I said, I ain't the most hugest San Antonio Spurs fans, but I will say this: they're in Texas. If the Spurs are in the finals, I'm going for them because I would rather the championship come back to Texas, than it to go anywhere else. So I'll just say that. And it was the same thing for the Houston Rockets. Those 2 years when what Michael Jordan wasn't playing. Hell, I'm glad Houston got theirs. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about the Mavericks. I'm glad they finally got theirs. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. So you have to give the shout out to the San Antonio Spurs and everything that they did, how they put all that stuff together, how they maintained and they kept that success going through all that time. Shout out to them, Greg Popovich, Tim Duncan, the Twin Towers, David Robinson, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Bruce Bowen. I mean, you can go on and on and on about that squad. You know, they just had some pieces in place, man. And a lot of people, and the funny part is, and I've even gone on record to say it, they're not, they were not the most entertaining team to watch. They weren't. They did a lot of basic. It just seemed like a lot of basic, somewhat basketball. But you know what? It was damn good basketball because it got them 5 championships. Okay, so you can't even get mad at that. Is what it is. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's talk about this. One team that is in the finals right now, the Miami Heat. Miami Heat, I believe they have won 3 championships since 2006, which was their first one, their first championship in 2006 against my Dallas Mavericks. Now, this is around the time that Mark Cuban had purchased the team, purchased the Mavericks. He was kind of gung ho, all in. He was very vocal. Um, and around this time, I believe around this year, we actually thought that us down here in Dallas, we really thought that we actually had a chance. Excuse me. If I'm not mistaken, this is the same NBA Finals that the Mavs were up 2 games to none, and then magically, some way, somehow, the Heat win 4 straight. I'm not saying that these things can't happen. When you go back and look at statistics and things like that, you look and see that uh, Dwayne Wade himself um, had more free throw attempts than the whole Dallas Mavericks squad. You know, I could say a whole bunch of things. I could definitely say stuff as if uh, it was a lesson to be learned from Mark Cuban. Like David Stern made rest in peace, but like he was trying to pretty much give him a say so and talking to like, hey, I run the league. See, that's what you conspiracy. That's what the conspiracy people will say. And have I gone on the record saying it? I've scratched my head on it. I've scratched my head on it. Because it's very rare that the team is up 2-0 in the NBA Finals and they don't end up winning. Um, but I guess stranger things have happened in the sports, in the league of sports. I guess it has. Um, I'm not taking anything away from them. Miami won it. It was just very strange. It just seemed very strange. From a Mavs fan's perspective, it just seemed very strange. But give credit where credit is due. Miami won in 2006 against Dallas. They came back and they won in 2012 against the OKC Thunder. And I want to say they had one more, which I know that they did. And I know I wrote this down. Let's see. Man. Oh, yeah. So they had 2012 with the Heat, and then they backdoored in 2013 when they ended up playing the Spurs again, and that was one hell of a series. I remember that series. Um, if it wasn't for Ray Allen, if it wasn't for Ray Allen in that shot, that corner 3-pointer, yeah. So that was it. Um, the 2012 and 2013 championships, that was kind of quite after LeBron had decided to take his talents down there to South Beach. Um, Remember, because they lost against Dallas in 2011. Um, yeah, so that very next year, they lost in 2011. So that very next year, 2012, 2013, that's when they got their back to back. Cool, cool, you know. And looking at how that team is kind of transpired, you still have to give credit to the Miami Heat. Um, in recent years, this is a team that maybe they don't go every year to the finals. But every few years, they find a way to get into the finals some way, somehow. They find a way. Um, Pat Riley knows what he's doing as a GM. Eric Spoelstra, uh, people are not giving him enough credit as a coach. Got to give this man credit. Got to give this man his credit. Give his flowers. He is doing, damn, he's doing a damn good job over there. He really is. Um, you got to give credit where credit is due. Okay. Now they have Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Kyle Lowry. They got some pieces, but it's looking like that it might be the end of the road tonight. We will see. I already got my pick, but we will see. It's a this one. I'll put it like this: Miami is probably one of the most grittiest teams in the NBA. You never can necessarily count them out. People didn't expect them necessarily to get as far as they did this year. Didn't expect them to beat Milwaukee. I believe they played Milwaukee. I know they didn't expect them to beat Boston because I actually had Boston beating them. Um, but you look at Miami, man. They've had that underdog on them all year, all this time. So look at these guys, man. They're really, really doing their thing. So I mean, you got to give shout out where shout outs are due. Um, Congratulations to them, man. Congratulations to them. I just feel like it's the end of the road. I just think that Denver is just going to be a better team this year. But case in point, what all do I know? I'm just a fan, right? Okay. Let's talk 2011, man. 2011 Dallas Mavs. Look, my gosh, I gotta tell y'all, man. Being a Mavs fan, this was it, man. This was it. This is probably one of the dopest things that I've ever had a chance to experience. Um, and as y'all can see, I'm gonna share this real quick. Ooh, let me give you a bigger picture. If some of y'all can see that. Look. I'm gonna tell you, I was quite happy about this because it's one thing for your team to win a championship, but it's another thing when your team has never won a championship or they've actually sniffed it and didn't get there. Um, when they can finally get over that hump, it's just something special. Um, and this one, to any true Mavs fan, Dallas Mavericks fan, this here was honestly special. Um, you had a team full of veterans, um, from Jason Kidd to Tyson Chandler to Matrix Sean Marion to Peja Stojakovic to Dirk to Jason Terry. I mean, you can name them. And you look on paper, and in no way in hell did anybody expected this team to go as far as they did, but they did. Uh, they pretty much amassed all odds, climbed every single mountain, and did what they were supposed to do. And you talk to a lot of basketball peers, they will say that this was necessarily probably one of the, if not one of the toughest um, roads to the finals. That year, they came in that first series. They played a Portland Trailblazers team who still had Brandon Roy, was kicking ass, beat them. Um, I think their second opponent was the LA Lakers, if I'm not mistaken, and they swept them. And this is with Kobe. They swept them. Kobe even said it himself. This team can beat us. This team can sweep us. They swept the Kobe and the Lakers. Then they came back and then they had to play the OKC with the three-headed monster of KD, Russ, and James Harden. Beat them. So then here they come. A rematch of 2006. And this is when LeBron has gone over there to Miami. And he's over there with Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. And they have their team that's surrounded. And it just seemed like you could say that it was destiny. Um, but it was just one of them things like, the Miami Heat over there on that side was talking a lot of shit, talking a lot of shit. And the Mavericks just kept quiet. They tried to make fun of the Texas Heat and whatnot. Excuse me, tried to make fun of Dirk. And I mean, the rest was history. It was like poetry in motion watching it. Dirk could not be stopped. Could not be stopped. So it's a very special. It was a very, very, very special moment, man. I remember going out there to the parade and seeing them guys doing it. I mean, it's you cherish those kind of moments, man. Especially, man, you cherish those kind of moments when your favorite team finally makes that leap and they can declare themselves the champions. Um, Hard work and dedication pays off. Hard work and dedication does truly pay off. And some make it and some don't, man. But I'm glad that the Dallas Mavericks could get their names off the record books of being a team that does not have a championship. Even though we still got some that are left, Dallas was able to do it. So I'm proud of those guys. And I'm hoping that we can get there very soon within these next five somewhat years with Luca, with Kyrie. Let's see what else that they can do. But I'm not the GM. I'm not the owner. But come on, man. We gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see. Let's talk about the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors, 2015. Now, believe it or not, the Golden State Warriors actually won their first championship back in 1947. But I think none of us was actually alive around that time to see what has transpired since then. So I really kind of base it off this 2015 squad with Steph, with Curry, with Draymond. Um, those three pieces right there have, and like I said earlier with the Spurs, those guys have sustained success in Golden State. Um, it's always kind of good to see. Again, it's always good to kind of see a team that you wouldn't necessarily expect to win. And Curry is not the biggest guy on the court. Um, you know, amazing for his size, but the things that he's done to transcend the NBA. I mean, he's pretty much got everybody wanting to shoot 50-foot 3 pointers now. But this guy makes it like it's in his sleep. It's just ridiculous of what he's able to do. Um, 2015, they got that one against the Cavs. Um, I believe that was I want to say LeBron came back around that time. Yeah, I think you want to say he went back over there to Cleveland to kind of help them get a championship. Um, but from 2015, then you got 2017, 2018. 2017 where they beat the Cavs, 2018 where they ended up beating the Cavs again, and just recently in 2022 when they beat the Celtics. Uh, a year ago, last year. Uh, Four-time champs, man. Four-time champs. Uh, that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. You have to have a ownership staff. You have to have a general management. You have to have um, coaching staff and people in place, man, that can see the future, can see the talent of what you got, and they can build upon that. I'm not saying that these guys can make it to the championship every year because you never really can count out Golden State now. You just can't. As long as they got those three pieces, you can't. Now, word on the street is that it might be breaking up. We will see. I'm not in that. Um, would it be good for the sport? I don't know. But teams do get better each and every year, man. 'Cause to slay the beast, you want to slay the beast. And Golden State has been that beast for quite a while. They have definitely been that beast for quite a while. So just to see them guys not necessarily in the playoffs, or well, not necessarily in the finals this year, it's not necessarily shocking, but it just goes to show that teams do evolve. Um, and sometimes a team that is just better at that point in time just pulls your card, pulls your number. But you have to give credit to the Golden State Warriors, man. You got to. Four rings, man. That's dynasty talk, man. Like I said, Spurs got their five. Golden State got their four. That's dynasty talk, you know. You ain't necessarily got to win them back to back to back, but shit, you win them within a small time frame. Well, hell, shit. You, you gotta give them their flowers, bro. You gotta give them their flowers. Shout out to Steve Kerr. One hell of a coach, man. One hell of a coach. And Kerr got more rings than people think. Kerr got more rings than people think. I understand. He played with Chicago with Michael. Got him some rings. He played on those Spurs teams uh, with Ginobili and all of them. Tony Parker, Tim Duncan. He got rings over there. Now as a coach, He's got rings at Golden State. Kerr know what he's talking about. Proof is in the pudding, though. Proof is in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? So that's good, man. Shout out to San Antonio. That's what it is, man. I mean, not San Antonio. Yeah, them, but Golden State as well. Uh, Another team that I wanted to touch upon is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Look, say what you want. This championship doesn't get won without Kyrie Irving, and LeBron knows that. And y'all should know that. Um, LeBron had decided to come back to Cleveland and make right of his wrong of leaving the way that he did. Came back, and I remember that they won this, and he was like, Cleveland, this is for you. And he was crying and everything like that. All right, cool. We understand the theatrics. This Cleveland Cavaliers team, and if I'm not mistaken, they came back from 3-1 to win the championship, 3-1, which is quite surprising. Um, how Golden State couldn't win one more, I don't know. Um, but you know, I give credit to where credit's due, y'all. I just have to. It's in the record books. It is what it is. Uh, Cleveland is a team that I don't think a lot of people. They were cold as shit back in the day, back in that Jordan era. They had some damn good pieces. I was like, what was that? I want to say Dan Marley. I want to say he played with them. Craig Elo, I don't remember him. Danny Manning, a couple of guys. Um, but Cleveland was not a team that anybody expected to win. Nobody. No, nobody. Anybody that knows me, y'all can see back there, man. I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan. Um, I know Cleveland is up there in Ohio. So, Cleveland, congratulations for that championship. I feel like that's probably going to be like the only championship that you guys have. Um, I don't know. I don't know. What's up, my man Brian? Brian says because LeBron averages triple double, Kyrie cooks Steph. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's not lying. He's not lying. Um, and I don't want to be the guy. I never want to be that guy to like bring it down or bring the championship down because I feel like that you have to go through all of the stuff that you got to go through to get to that point. That's why I had to kind of renege on my point um, about the Lakers and the bubble. Um, they won that championship, man. They won it. They won it. However you may feel, your opinion, you got to give the credit to where credit's due, would you be saying, and I do kind of want to pose that question. A lot of people say that the bubble championship didn't count for the Lakers. Well, hell, would it count if any other team had won? Would it count if Miami had won that year? You know, I mean, let's just be real. Would y'all be saying the same thing to Miami or actually giving them the actual clout? Saying, oh, it was NBA champions. So a champion is a champion regardless. Um, Cleveland, uh, I can necessarily say that I did not expect at all for those guys to win the championship. I did not expect them to do it, but they did it. Everyone played in the same bubble conditions, which is right, which is truly right. So um, you can't take nothing away. You can't take nothing away. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. Cleveland was just a funny. It was just a funny. It was just a funny season. Because again, didn't nobody expect that. But LeBron willed them to a champ. Kyrie willed them to a champ. Um, and sometimes when you got the right pieces, you know, whatever's clever, it can happen. Just like I was saying about the Mavs. When you looked at them on paper in 2011, you didn't expect a damn thing. Didn't you? Would not. None of us, even here in Dallas, expected them to get as far as they did. So kudos to them. Kudos to the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2026. You guys won. You guys got it. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Um, another team, man. I didn't put this up, man, but hold on. Let me get this to y'all right quick. So we are not. This is the one that I wanted to put. I knew I forgot one. Those Toronto Raptors in 2019. I believe this is the last championship that what's his name? Uh I can't think of his Kawhi Leonard. His last championship. Kawhi, I believe, had won a couple already in San Antonio before he came over to Toronto. Again, another team I did not expect. Another team I did not expect. Um, but they somehow willed themselves to win the damn championship. And I mean, they literally played their asses off. Um, they was playing the Warriors that year. They played the Warriors that year. Again, Warriors were, they on the top of that mountain, man. When you can get up there and kind of beat them, you need to pat yourself on the back. Kawhi played his ass off. Uh, whole team did. I think it was good because it was cool to see an expansion team finally make it to that. It was cool to see that. Um, you remember, like, Toronto came out when I believe the Grizzlies that came out at the same time. I want to say that they did when they first came out of Vancouver. And then this first time, you got a Canadian team in the NBA that's actually winning the championship. So they took it up there. So shout out to that country. Um, yeah, Toronto, man. Can I say that was necessary? I can't remember who I was going for. I think I was kind of on the fence on both. Um, but I will say that it was refreshing to see another team besides the Golden State Warriors win them a championship. Uh, Fred Van Vliet. Uh, I want to say is that Pascal Siakam? Man, those guys played, bro. Those guys played. Kyle Lowry, he did. And then what kind of sucked is my boy DeMar DeRozan. He had got traded, I want to say, the year before. So he wasn't there to actually celebrate, but he was happy that they did pull that off, man. I would have liked to see DeMar still be a part of that squad and have actually gotten the championship with them, but you know, it is what it is. Case of Ross Ra. Yeah, it's the nature of the business. It's the nature of the business. But that would have been nice to see that from him. Uh, let me see. Warriors had injury. Durant was out. Thompson was cooking in game 6 and then went out. Looney was out. Yeah. I mean, and it's fun. And I'm glad that you brought that up, Brian, because y'all have to understand that you have to take advantage of situations like that. You have to. I mean, it's sports, man. It's sports. Uh, a lot of people are saying that that it might be a different story right now if Tyler Hero was playing for the Miami Heat in this final shit. I don't know. I don't know if that's a difference, but him being out, not being on the court, I mean, affects them in some way, shape, or form. Um, so yeah, I mean, when it comes down to injuries and stuff like that, you have to, as a team, take advantage of those. You have to. Excuse me. If you got dominant pieces that are out that just can't play the game, man, y'all need to make that a. You need to circle that and make that shit a dub. If I know, man, I got people hurt. If I know Durant is out, if I know some of their main pieces, rotational pieces, ain't gonna be able to come in, you're gonna have some guys towards the end of the bench that are gonna be coming in and trying to play some minutes and trying to take care of that shit, man. Look, mismatches all day. Mismatches all day. You have to do what you need to do. So, and that's what Toronto did. So you have to give kudos to them for that. All of these teams, man, all of these teams that I mentioned, and every team that goes forward, man, any sport, football, basketball, baseball, you got to give kudos to those teams because they're doing whatever that they need to do to survive, to win, and have that success. So, good job, Toronto, for that 2019 championship. My man Brian, Miami seems like they play better without Hero, though. Case in point. Case in point. And which might be true. Which might be true, Brian. Um, still at the same time, him somewhat being a somewhat integral part of that team. Because every time you kind of hear about Miami, you hear a little bit about Tyler Hero. I know it's been popping up on my Bleach report a lot about his injuries, and they saying that he may come back this game. Or something. I mean, shit. What's the point at this point in the junction? What's the point? Um, but hey, he's on the squad, right? If he can help him win, I can help him win. Let's see. Let's see. I personally don't think that it matters. Um, but hell, we'll see. We'll see. Let's talk about this one, man. Milwaukee Bucks in 2021. Look, you got to give Milwaukee credit. You do. They took their time and they got some generational pieces. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a generational piece. He is a solid foundationary piece that these guys can put people around him, and as you can see that they did. Um, you got Middleton. Trying to think of some of the other guys. I remember what even Chenzo, he was on the squad. Um, what is his name? I'm looking at his face right now and I can't think of it. Um, but their guard, it's right on the tip of my tongue. But this Milwaukee's Buck squad, I think they surprise a lot of people. Really, really do they surprise a lot of people. They beat the Phoenix Suns this year. Um, can't stand Phoenix. Take that back. I like the Phoenix of old. I like the Phoenix of old. Um, the Kevin Johnsons era. You know, I like that era. But these new Phoenix Suns, they can uh, kiss my ass. Um, yeah. Still can't believe the fire. Why would you fire Budenholzer? Why? Why? Um, to me, that still doesn't make sense to me. That still doesn't make sense. And I don't think they're bringing in anybody better that's qualified. If I'm not, I believe it's one of them ex NBA players. Uh, I can't think of his name off top as well, but yeah, um, never would have gotten rid of Budenholzer. Um, Giannis is a generational piece. Um, I don't know if Milwaukee goes back. I don't know if they win again. Um, this might have been one of those years where they just caught fire, caught wind, and that fire lit and it grew, and they just kept on going and going and going, and they eventually took it all the way, you know, to the championship. But sometimes that can happen. Sometimes you can just have a team just out of nowhere. Um, you didn't expect it. You didn't expect it. And, next thing you know, they're in the finals, they're in the championship. We're looking at it right now with the Denver Nuggets. Um, Milwaukee is a good team. Um, I think some people was kind of expecting them to go further than what they did this year. But yeah, they got beat by Miami this year. Um, look, it's their only championship. Only championship. Um, and you can hang your head. You can hang your head on the fact that you know y'all are not y'all are not on the list anymore of teams without championships. Y'all are not on that list. As a matter of fact, I want to see this list. NBA teams without championships. I want to see this list right now. Currently, right now, this list consists of the Brooklyn Nets, the Charlotte Hornets, the Denver Nuggets, but they about to get their names off of that, the Indiana Pacers, LA Clippers, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Minnesota Timberwolves, New Orleans Pelicans, Orlando Magic. They've had chances, but Phoenix Suns had chances, but no. Utah had chances, but couldn't. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more teams who are necessarily gonna still be on the list. And that's gotta suck. That's kind of gotta suck. But you know, what can you do, man? What can you do? Um, you just gotta keep building. Eventually, some people get old. Eventually, the greats get old, and maybe that can boost your chance to get up in the ranks and rise up. But shit happens, bro. It sucks, but I'm not in it. I don't. Hell. But it's all good, man. Again, Milwaukee, y'all shouldn't have fired Budenholzer. I don't know what the fuck y'all was thinking. I was so surprised when I saw that. I said, damn, why? You can imagine what Giannis was thinking. You could. Yeah. And does this prompt Giannis to possibly move, to get out of his contract, or when his contract is up? Does he end up going somewhere else? Once you have a coach that you trusting in, and he's helped you get to the promised land, you don't necessarily want to give that up. And when you give that up and they change a whole new philosophy, you're expecting that this new coach to come in and bring you back to the promised land as well. Well, if this new coach doesn't do that, you know, how does Giannis look in Milwaukee? Does he consider staying there for the rest of his career? Does he end up looking somewhere else to go? You know, it's a lot of factors that go into this, man. So you hope that these teams make the right moves, but they necessarily don't. Sometimes they just don't. You know. So with that being said, let's talk about this, guys. Will the Denver Nuggets do it? Will the Denver Nuggets do it this year? I believe they're up 3-1 in the series. I can't remember. Let me see where these guys are going to be playing at. I will definitely say this. I think it is Denver's time. I think it is Denver's time. I got a buddy of mine uh, who's a big Nuggets fan. Uh, they're actually in the third quarter right now. Third quarter, 2:13 left. They're in Denver, but it's tied 64-64 in the third quarter. Okay. Can Denver pull it off? If they don't do it this game, I expect them to do it very soon. Um, I'm just calling it. I know Miami has their back up against the wall, and I know they're going to be playing their hearts out. I expect them to play their hearts out. But it's nothing like winning it in front of your home crowd, in front of your home fans. Um, yes, Miami has their back against the wall, but don't discredit the fact that Denver is not going to be out there playing their asses off, knowing that they got the home team behind them, because they don't want to go back to Miami. They don't want to go back to Miami. Um, they want to go ahead and do it now. Like I said, man, do it in front of the fans, in front of your home, in front of your people, in front of your family. It's just that much more sweeter. It's that much more sweeter. Um, so I'ma say it, man. I think the Denver Nuggets go ahead and pull it off. Go ahead and finish it tonight, man. Go ahead and finish it tonight. Um, Joker, Joker two-time Jokic, two-time MVP. You know, go ahead and get you one, man. Jamal Murray, go ahead and get you one. Porter Jr., go ahead and get you one. Um, and Denver is a team that kind of snuck up on everybody. I was actually saying, I was telling some people, you know, um, y'all gotta kind of look at Denver, man. A lot of people, and it's funny because a lot of people wasn't even talking about Denver, but Denver had like the best record in the league this year. But nobody wanted to talk about Denver. Nobody wanted to kind of give them their hype. Nobody wanted to kind of give them their respect. Um, they just, you heard media always want to talk about the marquee teams and what this and that, everything they're doing. But Denver kind of just slowly, quietly crept up on that ass. It was like, hey, no, nigga, we here. It's what it is. Now look at them. They're one game away of winning their first championship. Get your name off the list, man. Get your name off the list. That's a good feeling. Now, I heard people, well, not necessarily people, but I've been reading some of these reports that, this might be the start of a dynasty. I don't know. You have to see after this season. You have to Just have to see after this season. But it's clear to see that Denver definitely was, in fact, the best team. I believe that they were the best team in the league this year. Very, very solid. They crept on it. They knew what they was doing. They put the pieces together. Everybody played their role, and that's one thing, man. When you got teammates that know their roles in and out, they know what they're supposed to do, man. Just everything just works a lot better. Sometimes you just don't have those pieces to help you out, and people can't figure out and find their roles. And then sometimes people have a role and they just can't play that role in that system, or they're just not capable of it talent wise, you know. So it's always good to see a team that has their dominant players, but they have everybody on the other side on the back end, the bench players that can come in and do what they need to do. Take the pressure off of your main guys. So I'm personally looking forward to seeing Denver win this championship. I want them to go ahead and finish it. I want them to go ahead and finish it, man. Football season is right around the corner, but I want them to go ahead and get this done. I just think it's their year. I really, really do. Uh, and I've been low key kind of said. I think I had mentioned that to my brother a little while back. Once these playoffs have started, that I said that my picks were going to be Miami out the East, Denver out the West. But he did kind of mention that we probably wanted to see Boston and LA. I think that's what he was saying. Boston and LA would be a more favorable matchup. Which I think that would have been a nice, man. I know they have a historic rivalry. But granted, may the best teams win, man. May the best teams win. And you're seeing it right now. You're definitely seeing it right now. So again, man, I'm gonna give a shout out to Miami, Jimmy Butler, and all those guys, for getting that. But I just think that it is the Denver Nuggets championship. It's theirs to lose at this point. They're up 3-1. It's theirs to lose. They want to give it away, they'll give it away. But I think that they just go ahead and finish it and get this knocked out of the park and do what they need to do, man. So yeah. That's been my show, man. I want to talk about these past NBA championships, guys who have gotten themselves off the cusp of, not having a championship and they're actually in the mix, got their names off of that list. Y'all know how it is, man. Always bring this up. If you guys do suffer from mental health, there's anything that you have going on, please seek help. I have the number right there, the National Mental Health Hotline. As a person that has gone through it, still goes through it, I know there's people out there that go through it. You can find help, man. You can definitely find help and get yourselves better. Please do not take mental health as a joke. It is not a joke. It can really mess with your mind frame. So I want everybody to know that not only do we support you here at BGSC Network, but definitely here at MCXP Radio, I support you. And you can find help. You can get support. So I want everybody to go out there and do what they need to do. Check yourself, man. Always check yourself. And never hesitate to send a text message to a friend, call a friend, ask them, hey, you all right? You doing well? Never hesitate. Never hesitate to do that. There's somebody out there, man, that's got your back. Somebody always out there has your back. Friends, family, loved one, somebody. So again, man, if you are suffering from mental health, please seek help. Seek help, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys for joining MCXP Radio. This has been another episode. And you guys take it easy, man. Until next time. Peace. That's funny. I put the wrong one. I'm out, y'all. Y'all peace.
Cruising in a Rari with the hair and nails and toes done. Always keep it stylish. Never gonna give me.
We're gonna make a lot of women mad at this one, but it's alright.
Gonna get a shot at romance. Cause I'm too cold.
Yeah.
I'm ice cold.